We have some breaking news out of the NFL. Alvin Kamara will be suspended 3 games for a fight outside of a Las Vegas nightclub in 2022 around the Pro Bowl weekend that was being had out there. Kamara reached a plea agreement in July and no longer is facing a felony charge for his role in the fight that occurred before the Pro Bowl in February. That's via Adam Schefter. 3 games. Okay, yesterday, Nick Underhill, who is a reporter, beat writer for the New Orleans Saints, came on the show and said he'll probably get suspended 4 games and then he'll appeal it down to 3. He's at 3 right now. I think that's everybody boots on the ground kind of had a good sense or feel of what it could be. Do you think he'll be able to appeal that down? And how do you think this whole thing went down between Raj and Alvin Kamara?
I don't know. I would imagine the appeal situation it's been going on. This whole process has been going on for so long. I would assume this is the final thing.
I would wonder, from the NFL standpoint, they would want to get the public appeal thing out of the world. We'd rather just and from the player's perspective, I think you would potentially only want one announcement of negative thing too.
That's usually how, guys that have, they get popped for some kind of, PED or whatever. A lot of times they don't make it public until they've already appealed and done all their, said, like, hey, no, this is what the problem was, whatever.
Yeah, but sometimes some of these suspensions we'll hear like an appeal will happen and then it kind of get drawn out like publicly. And in doing so, you're dragging both sides pretty much. Both sides get dragged through it publicly. Like the person who's appealing, like people are still going to bury you for what you did and talk about what you did. And then for the NFL side, it's like they have to say, well, this is why and this whole thing. It's just, if it is the final right here and we just move on, I bet you Kamara and the NFL are happy about that. But if Kamara's going to try to get that down to 2 games, this thing still drags out even longer. Kamara, though, for a large portion of the season will be playing for the Saints. That's what I'm taking from this. That's good news in that NFC South, in which Jimmy Graham is back in there and Derek Carr is slinging the pigskin for old Saints world.
Huge news, because we looked at the schedule yesterday. It's not great. They're the favorites to win the division there. They have Jamal Williams as the backup, and then Kendre Miller from TCU, who was really good last year. I believe was the 3rd. But they're going to be good,
Wait, I just seen a tweet just pop up on the back here. Colts corner Chris Lammons, who was involved in the same incident with Alvin Kamara, is being suspended for 3 games. Who's Chris Lammons?
Well, did we know he was involved?
Not until right now.
You tell me. Did anybody know Chris Lammons was involved? I thought Kamara knocked guy, right?
Well, then apparently Lammons then fucking curb stomped him while he was laying on the ground.
Jeez.
Allegedly.
I mean, he had to have done something pretty real deal. We don't like it.
If that's the case, too, Lammons got that dog in him.
I was kidding.
Did he not get? So Alvin Kamara got the criminal case against him, and Lammons did not, because Alvin Kamara accepted a plea, right? They just said his plea deal gets him out of the
felony.
Out of the felony charge forever. Is Lammons in the middle of that as well?
Colts signed him a week ago.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, to replace the other guy who was betting on games.
So March.
Okay.
A March article said another player wants charges dismissed in strip brawl. So I believe he did have charges against him.
Our cornerback room currently has 20 games of suspensions against them combined.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of sweet.
It's all right. It's all right.
New culture.
Earlier Friday, Alvin Kamara told reporters I was completely wrong. I embarrassed the Saints. I embarrassed my family and my mother. I embarrassed myself, embarrassed the city and the Shield, obviously embarrassed the NFL as a whole. And Nick Underhill yesterday, the way he talked about Alvin Kamara as the human, he basically was like, Roger Goodell learning about who Alvin Kamara actually is as this upbeat, positive person who made a massive mistake, probably a bit boozed up in Vegas. Not that that is a reason at all, but acted out of character is what a lot of people were saying. So 3 games, keep it moving. Probably had to pay a massive amount of money, and hopefully this will all be behind him, and he will grow. And the Saints now, are they our favorite in the NFC South?
Probably betting-wise, right?
They have the most proven quarterback, for sure.
And the best defense out of those 3, you could say?
What's up, AJ? What are you saying, man?
No, I think they could be good, but it's just so weird. Like, I don't know if I'm in a bubble or what, but I just don't hear much about the Saints.
You don't hear anything about any of the NFC South teams except for Bryce Young's really smart.
You're right.
That's really the only thing that's being talked about, because everybody has decided that the NFC South is a dumpster fire.
Yep.
That's what everybody thinks. The NFC South stinks, bro. Somebody's going to win the NFC South. Like, that's how people are actually talking. Whenever they're talking about the overall scheme of, even the playoffs are getting talked about now. Like, somebody in the NFC South is going to have a home playoff game. Like, all that type of shit is being said about that one division. So I don't think we're talking about it at all. But then you start start thinking about the Saints up there, you're like, well, Derek Carr, he won a lot of games.
Yeah, he did.
He does have a skill set, right? Has a definite skill set and understands some
Good
things.
defense.
Defense is filled with dogs. They just signed back Cam Jordan. He just signed another deal. He's like mayor of New Orleans down there. They got dogs all over the place on the defensive side of the ball. Jimmy Graham is back. Alvin Kamara is going to be there. Michael Thomas is back. They're saying Taysom Hill is all the way back now. Taysom Hill. Chris Olave.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, they have a lot of talent. You're right. Like they're in a good spot though. They could surprise some people. They really could. Anyone in that whole division could, but I think the Saints are set up for it.
Okay.